Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON BBT Sansthapak Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya Namo Pankaja Maline Namo Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajambre. Hare Krishna. I seek permission and blessing of all devotees assembled here, especially His Grace Prabhu and also all the other devotees. Forgive me for not approaching you personally. I feel very honored and blessed to be with all of you. Thank you. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna, Introduction. Text number 65. What's written on the board?
6.
Last 65. Last digit is missing on the board.
Which verse? Which number is it?
It's not written there.
Rishir Vinir Game Kamso. Yes, thank you. Rishir Vinir Game Kamso.
Rishir Vinir Game Kamso.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Devakim Vasudevam Cha.
Devakim Vasudevam Cha.
Not there? Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati. Rishir Vinirgame Kamso. Rishir Vinirgame Kamso. Yadun Matva Suraniti. Yadun Matva Suraniti. Devakya Garbha Sambhutam. Devakya Garbha Sambhutam. Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati. Vishnum Cha Svavadam Prati.
Mataji's?
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Rishir Vinirgame Kamso.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Yadun Matva Suraniti.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Devakya Garbha Sambhutam.
Vishnum Cha Svavidam Prati.
Vishavinirgamaikamso Yadurmatva Suraniti Devakya Samabhutam Vishnu Jasvadham Prati.
We will chant one more verse which is not written on the book but it is connected. Text number 66. Devakim Vasudevam cha
Devakim Vasudevam cha
Nigraya Nigade Grihe Jatam Jatam Aham Putram
Putram
Tayor Ajana Shankaya. Word to word meaning. Rishe of the great sage Narada. Vinirgame on the departure after giving information. Kamsa Yadun all the members of the Yadu dynasty. Matva thinking of. Suran as demigods. Iti thus. Devakya of Devaki. Garbha Sambhutam the children born from the womb. Vishnu accepting as Vishnu. Cha and Svabadam Prati fearing his own death from Vishnu. Devaki Vasudevam cha and her husband Vasudeva. Nigraya arresting. Nigade by iron shackles. Grihe confined at home. Jatam each one who was born one after another. Ahan killed. Putram the sons. Tayo of Vasudeva and Devaki. Ajana Sankaya with the doubt that they would be Vishnu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Shreyasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After the departure of the great saint Narada, Kamsa thought that all the members of the Yadu dynasty were demigods and that any of the children born from the womb of Devaki might be Vishnu. Fearing his death, Kamsa arrested Vasudeva and Devaki and chained them with iron shackles. Suspecting each of the children to be Vishnu, Kamsa killed them one after another because of the prophecy that Vishnu would kill him. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his notes on this verse, has mentioned how Narad Muni gave Kamsa this information. This incident is described in the Hari Vamsha. Narad Muni went to see Kamsa by providence, and Kamsa received him very well. Narada therefore informed him that any one of the sons of Devaki might be Vishnu. Because Vishnu was to kill him, Kamsa should not spare any of Devaki's children, Narad Muni advised. Narada's intention was that Kamsa, by killing the children, would increase his sinful activity so that Krishna would soon appear to kill him. Upon receiving the instructions of Narad Muni, Kamsa killed all the children of Devaki, one after another. The word Ajana Shankaya indicates that Lord Vishnu never takes birth, Ajana, and that he therefore appeared as Krishna, taking birth just like a human being, Manushim Tanumashritam. Kamsa attempted to kill the babies born of Devaki and Vasudeva, although he knew that if Vishnu were born, he would not be killed. Actually, it came to pass that when Vishnu appeared as Krishna, Kamsa could not kill him. Rather, as foretold, it was he who killed Kamsa. One should know in truth how Krishna, who takes his birth transcendentally, acts to kill the demons, but is never killed. When one perfectly understands Krishna in this way, through the medium of Shastra, one becomes immortal. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma karma cha me devyam evam yo veti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma neti mameti sorjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of an appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains eternal abode, O Arjuna. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadraveshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjivayata kila shakti dhara swadhamna anyam shahasta charana shravana tvagadi pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam sya Shri Chaitanya namaham. Hare Krishna. Once again, my sincere gratitude to all of you. Today we are reading the verse where Shukdev Goswami is saying how Kamsa killed all the children. And this is interesting. It is after Narad Muni's arrival that Kamsa actually killed. Actually, Kamsa was initially impressed by Vasudev's honesty. Vasudev, when he brought the son, Kamsa's heart changed. He said, okay, you can take the child back because I have fled from the 8th son. And then Narad Muni comes and convinces Kamsa. There is the Puranas explain that he showed him a lotus flower and there were 8 petals in that. And he said, which one is the first? Which one is the 8th? So then Narad Muni told Kamsa that Krishna can, the 8th can come as the first also. That's how Kamsa's mind changed. And he killed the first 6 children, we know that. So it may appear as if Narad Muni is cruel. He's getting the children killed. But in Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada taught us how cross-reference of scriptures is very important. We connect many pastimes to others, mentioned in other scriptures also. And we also connect to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So considering Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, we understand that Narad Muni actually delivered these 6 children who had been cursed by Brahma to be born again, and it was important for Narad Muni to ensure that they were killed and then they go back and they get liberated. So Narad Muni actually did a favor, but externally it appears as if Narad Muni is very cruel. Of course, Srila Prabhupada also writes in today's purport that one other reason was that Kamsa's sinful activities increase and then Krishna comes and kills him. So many times we see external activities of a pure devotee can be bewildering if you don't know the context and if you don't know the larger picture. It can happen. See, otherwise, in the 11th canto, why would in the 11th canto we find this beautiful section where Vasudev is thanking Narad Muni. He is saying, thank you, because of you, Krishna appeared. And so actually Vasudev should be scolding Narad Muni, no? No, Vasudev also understood this is a very big plan. So we shouldn't get bewildered by that. I feel another very interesting section I see like this where we can easily misunderstand, which is this section where Akrura comes to take Krishna from Vrindavan to Mathura. This is a very beautiful section where Kamsa is thinking how to kill these two boys, Krishna and Balaram. He is very desperate. So he sends Keshi, the last few demons, the Vyomas, Keshi and Vyomasura, I think, yes. So after that, Narad Muni comes and tells Kamsa that this you are destined to be killed by this 8th child. That is, Narad Muni confirms to Kamsa that is Krishna. So again it appears as if Narad Muni is provoking, agitating, but there is a very big plan. Because Narad Muni wants Krishna to come to Mathura and kill Kamsa. So Kamsa says, Acha, that 8th child is Krishna and Balaram. Okay, so I will now send soldiers there, demons, and kill him again. I'll get Krishna killed. So Narad Muni gives a very good idea. Narad Muni says, no, you should not send demons there now. You invite him here. You invite Krishna here. So that Krishna, because if you go there or if you send people and if Krishna comes to know that you know that he is Krishna, then Krishna and Balaram will run away, they will escape. You will not be able to catch them. So make a big festival and invite both of them, and in that festival you can kill them. So if somebody reads only this section, you will again think that Kamsa is, if somebody just enters Bhagavatam at this section, he will think Narad Muni is giving ideas to Kamsa to kill Krishna. No, but Narad Muni very well knows that Krishna will come and he will kill Kamsa. So like this, very beautiful pastime. And the best part here is, what I found very amazing was Akrura. Now Akrura is a pure devotee of Krishna. Such a devotee that, in the 9 limbs of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, we chant this. And for each of these 9 limbs, Rupa Goswami has given us the best example. For Shravanam, the best example is Parikshit Maharaj. For Kirtanam, he says best example is Sukdev Goswami. For Smaranam, remembering Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, for worshipping the lotus feet, Lakshmi ji. And Archanam, Prithu Maharaj. Vandanam, offering prayers, Akrura. Amazing, na? Akrura, Vandanam. Sakyam, Arjuna. Dasyam, Anuman. And Atma Nivedanam, Bali Maharaj. And a person who embodies all the 9, that is Ambarish Maharaj. Now, interesting here is, Akrura is considered as the best example for offering prayers to Krishna. But Akrura is the one who is sent by Kamsa to get Krishna to Mathura. And Kamsa tells Akrura that I want to kill this boy, Krishna. So it appears as if Akrura as a minister is executing Kamsa's order. In the spy language, in the international politics, this is considered as what? Treason. This is considered as both sides. If he is Krishna's devotee, why is he helping Kamsa? So, but a very, very beautiful Sanatana Goswami explains very nicely the purports, quoting from Harivamsha and other scriptures, that very interesting, Krishna, Akrura, when Kamsa, what Kamsa did? Kamsa, when Akrura, he called for Akrura. And he said, Akrura, I want to give you a gift. I want to give you this new chariot. Take this new chariot as a gift for you. And get Krishna and Balaram to Mathura. Because I want to kill them. So Akrura says, oh, nice chariot, thank you so much. He becomes happy. So it appears as if Akrura is being bribed by Kamsa and being given a gift. But Akrura is very happy because Sanatana Goswami reveals, externally he was expressing happiness that he is getting this gift, but internally he was very happy because he said, oh, I am going to get Krishna and Balaram not in the dirty used chariot of Kamsa, I am going to get him in a new chariot. So Krishna doesn't have to use the used chariot. So like that, for everything Kamsa, externally it appeared as if Akrura is Kamsa's agent, but internally he was very happy. That is, first of all, he was very happy that he is going to go to Vrindavan to see Krishna. So what Kamsa did? Kamsa had Akrura's hand, rubbed his hand and said, Akrura, you are my real friend. You know this Krishna and Balaram, they are very bad. And they are a burden on the earth. I am going to kill them. After I kill them, then I will kill Nanda, Vasudev, all of them. And then I will tie up with Jarasandha and all of them I have already tied up. And then we will destroy all these people who are a burden on earth. Kamsa is convinced that all the others are demons. And he is doing a great favor. What Akrura does? Akrura doesn't disagree with Kamsa. Akrura says, yes, my dear king, as man proposes but God disposes, please don't be, please know that providence is very powerful and I will execute your order. And I will go to Vrindavan. And internally what he is thinking? Sanatana Goswami reveals. Internally Akrura is thinking, yes, I am going to go to Vrindavan because I will get to see Krishna and Balaram. And because you are ordering me, that's not the reason why I am going. I am going because I want to fulfill your last wish because you will soon die. He doesn't say this because he is the king. So, but internally he is thinking, your last wish I will fulfill. So like that, Akrura sits on the chariot and is coming to get Krishna and Balaram. Now, it is just, those who have travelled from Mathura to Vrindavan, it just takes few minutes. But Akrura was so ecstatic at the prospect of seeing Krishna and Balaram and he was so meditating that it took him almost whole day. And when coming, suddenly Akrura was gripped with fear. Very, very beautiful. Bhagavatam also describes this. Akrura, as he is entering Vrindavan, suddenly he thought, oh, I am going there as agent of Kamsa. That means he is a villain. Kamsa is a villain. So I am villain's agent. So I am doing wrong thing. So he fears that Krishna will reject him. Many times, devotees say this, Prabhu, I am working in a bad situation and I am in this situation. Krishna will reject me, or I have no scope of bhakti. Many of us, when we are put in compromising situations or in situations which are not favorable for devotional service, and we are so more than serving and remembering Krishna with gratitude and sincere prayer, we live in the space of fear that now what will happen, Krishna will reject me. But our acharyas have assured the whole world may reject you, but Krishna will not reject you. Our biggest problem is we are afraid to go to Krishna. When we make some mistake also, we think, in this world, if you promise something to someone and then that you fail that promise. If you promise something to someone and you fail that promise, then what happens? You become embarrassed and you become shy and you try to avoid that person. I don't know if you have experienced that. I have also experienced this. One boy was coming for my program class and he only promised me, Prabhu, I will chant 16 rounds from tomorrow. I didn't tell him, he only promised me. So I said, okay, thank you, Prabhu. And then next day onwards, I didn't see him only. And after 6 months, I met him somewhere else. And he was avoiding me. I caught him. I said, what happened? Then why are you not coming to temple? I miss you. He said, Prabhu, sorry, but I'm not chanting. So I said, that's okay, but at least you could have come. He said, I'm chanting few rounds here and there. But I said, that is okay, but at least why are you disconnecting from devotees? Be in association, you will again come to chanting. But come to association. He said, Prabhu, I was scared of coming. I was feeling I've let you down. And then I realized that this happens in our relationship with Krishna also many times. When we make some big mistake or something wrong, instead of rectifying and coming closer to Krishna, we think Krishna will also reject me. And so we go further away. So we slip or we fall, and then we fall further because we don't want to come closer to Krishna. We think Krishna is also like the people of this world. In this world, what people do? They judge us. But Krishna will not judge us. Krishna is waiting for us. So Akrura is first of all thinking that, oh, Krishna will judge me. Krishna will think that I am coming on behalf of Kamsa. Oh, what will happen? And then Kamsa, because he is a pure devotee, the realization he gets is, Srila Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, he says, Akrura got the realization. Oh, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is in the heart. He knows my intention. He knows that I love him. The whole world may misunderstand you, but if we are sincere, we can be assured that Krishna will not misunderstand. So with that hope, Asha Baddha, one of the symptoms of a pure devotee. So with that hope, with great joy he comes to Vrindavan. And while coming, he is thinking, he is dreaming, oh, Krishna will be like this. He starts imagining Krishna's beautiful features. He is visualizing. And he's thinking this will happen, then I will see Krishna, then I will talk to him, he will smile at me, he will have this beautiful peacock feather dressed in dark monsoon, yellowish garments, the complexion of a dark monsoon cloud. He will be so attractive. So he's imagining and dreaming all of this. And then as he enters Vrindavan, at the outskirts he sees Krishna's footprints. And when he sees those footprints, now till now he was already Krishna conscious the whole journey. But when he actually sees the footprints, he goes crazy. He falls on the chariot, offers full dandavats, starts rolling on the ground, and tears come from his eyes. And is unstoppable. And Srila Prabhupada writes in that section in Krishna book that this is the way we should enter Vrindavan. He says we should be like crying in joy that okay, I'm going to enter Krishna's birthplace, Krishna's pastime place. So like this. And then also I realized when we were reading this section that just like Akrura was always Krishna conscious, he was remembering Krishna throughout the journey. But when he actually saw the footprints of Krishna, he went into ecstatic symptoms. Similarly, if you see Srila Prabhupada is always Krishna conscious. But on specific occasions, when he saw the manifestation of the mercy of Krishna, he was uncontrollable. One example, I think Srila Prabhupada was visiting, I don't know which country it was. He went there. I was hearing Prabhupada's class. Now that, we have this red box which contains, I think, 3,000 lectures of Prabhupada. So if one arrival address, it is a 3-minute class. And Srila Prabhupada is thanking Hridayananda Maharaj for preaching here. And then he says, oh, this Gaur Nitai, they are so beautiful. They are so beautiful. And he says, Parama Karuna, Pavudui Jana, Nitai Gaur Chandra. Then he chants a little bit of that verse. And then suddenly he says, I want to thank all of you, you are serving Gaur Nitai so nicely. And then saying that, Prabhupada starts crying. And that lecture is over, this 3-minute class. So many times I would rewind and play because we are actually getting to hear and experience Prabhupada's ecstatic symptoms. He's crying. It's a 3-minute class. So His Holiness Srila Satsvarup Maharaj, he writes a beautiful purport to this pastime. He says just like Akrura was always Krishna conscious, but when he saw the footprints, he realized how much merciful Krishna is and then he started crying. He says similarly Srila Prabhupada always was remembering Gaur Nitai. But when he saw the Gaur Nitai deities manifesting in this, it was a South American country somewhere. Srila Prabhupada, like Akrura, his ecstatic symptoms came. Like once, Srila Prabhupada, because we are talking about this Akrura's ecstasy, I remember, in New York in the initial days, Srila Prabhupada was facing a lot of hippies. Yesterday, Prithu Prabhu spoke so beautifully and graphically about those initial days where those the dress and the way somebody had brought chickens, snakes, all those crazy descriptions of the crazy hippies descriptions was so amazing. And Srila Prabhupada laughed seeing that and said, we should give them kirtan and prasad and we should preach in college like that. So like that, once Srila Prabhupada was preaching in New York, and many educated people are also coming, not only hippies. Like Satsuramal was educated and he was going, Brahmanand Prabhu was bruised, he was teaching in some college like that. Ayagriva Prabhu was a professor. So that was mixed, hippies also were there. But many of them are asking very, crazy kind of questions. Like somebody got up in the middle of the class and he would shout like that. So Prabhupada never could see good intelligent questions being asked. One day, one girl, who we now know as Govinda Dasi, one very dear disciple of Srila Prabhupada, she was a very new devotee that time. And she raised her hand and she said, Swamiji, what is this ecstasy of Krishna prem, Krishna's love, which the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan experienced? And Srila Prabhupada heard that question and he was, Acha! He became surprised that somebody could ask such a beautiful devotional question. His eyes became big. Oh, what a beautiful question! He was so happy that she asked this question. And then Prabhupada said, this is the perfection of life, to love Krishna. And then Prabhupada chanted that line from the Shad Goswami Ashtaka. E Radhe Vraja Devi Ke Chaladite E Nanda Shuno Kuta Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale Kalindi Vane Kuta Goshan Saviti Sarvato Vrajapure Keder Mahavivalo Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. So in this verse, Srimad Acharya is saying, I offer my respectful obeisance to the 6 Goswamis who are crying for Krishna in the groves of Vrindavan. Hey Radhe, Radharani, Krishna, where are you? So Prabhupada chanted this verse, and while chanting this verse, tears started coming from his eyes and his body started shivering. And remember, all these boys and girls are new. They are very new in Krishna consciousness and they are stunned. And Prabhupada is just quiet and stunned, and Prabhupada became like frozen. And all of them, they don't know what is happening, but they know something divine is happening. They don't know the technical names of all the bhava, ecstasy. Oh, Swamiji is in some spiritual trance, that they knew. But they all kept quiet. I'm wondering what to do now. And Prabhupada seemed to be in trance for eternity. And then Brahmananda Prabhu, now we know him as Brahmananda. That time he was Bruce. His brother was Greg. He became Garga Muni. Bruce became Brahmananda. And Garga Muni was managing the finance in the New York temple. So Prabhupada would call Garga Muni as Garga Mani. Because he is managing. So anyway, so Bruce, he took the kartals because he thought Srila Prabhupada, we don't know what is happening. So he took the kartal and played kartal and said, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then Prabhupada came to external consciousness. And then Prabhupada completed the class and said, thank you, and he left. So later on, the devotees went to Srila Prabhupada's room and said, Swamiji, what were we experiencing that time? So they thought, Srila Prabhupada will share some deep secrets of ecstasy. What was that? Srila Prabhupada very gravely, he dismissed it. He said, oh, nothing important. Very, very, Srila Prabhupada did not present as if, he didn't prevent his ecstasies. Very private. Otherwise, what happens, some of us will imitate Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was very careful about his private ecstasies. So Kamsa, in that mood he enters Vrindavan. So what he's already dreaming, visualizing Krishna, and then he sees Krishna, and then this is not the only. And then when he meets Krishna, he is overwhelmed and Krishna. And one of the things Akrura is imagining is, I will see Krishna. Krishna will touch me. Krishna will call me Akrura, uncle. So he is dreaming all of this. And when that actually happens, he becomes ecstatic. And next day, he is taking Krishna and Balaram. Look at the service Akrura has. He is taking Krishna and Balaram out of Vrindavan, and the gopis and everybody is angry with Akrura. In one sense, he becomes a villain for the reference of Vrindavan. But we consider his prayers as the best prayers. So So sometimes, so if Akrura can be misunderstood, if you are misunderstood, anybody here has never been misunderstood, then you are very, very special. Material world, all of us will go through misunderstanding, and sometimes we wonder why this person dislikes me so much. One of the biggest needs of human need is non-judgmental acceptance. We want to be accepted, we don't want to be judged. But in this world, duality, so much suffering. But Akrura's example gives us hope that somebody who has given so much distress to the Vrindavan residents and also created doubts, but he actually is the best example for prayers. And when he takes Krishna and Balaram, the gopis become very angry with Akrura. They say he's Krura. Now Akrura means very kind. Krura means very cruel. He is not Akrura, he is Krura. And then when Akrura is taking, all the gopis, they block the chariot. Evam bruvanam viraha turadrisham vraja striya krishna vishikta manasa. The Bhagavatam says, Visrijjalajjam rurusma susmaran govinda damodara madhaveti. It's a very poignant description. Akrura is taking Krishna Balaram and the gopis come running. Evam bruvanam viraha turadrisham. Shukdev Goswami says, the separation from Krishna became so intense that what did they do? Visrijjalajjam rurusma susmaran. They were incessantly crying and they gave up lajja, they gave up shyness, because till now all their love for Krishna was private. They never publicly demonstrated that they want Krishna. They were like shy of their elders, they would not tell others. But now Krishna is going, now we have to stop him. So they came and they said, let us give up our lajja, our shyness. And they stopped. And what did they do? Rurusma susmaran viraha turadrisham rajastriya krishna vishikta manasa. And they were crying. And what are they crying? Govinda damodara madhaveti. Govinda damodara madhaveti. Govinda damodara madhaveti. Constantly saying, Govinda damodara madhava, don't leave us. And Akrura is taking Krishna away from them. What a service. Anybody here been in a thankless service? In Krishna consciousness, this happens all the time, especially if you are a manager. You please one devotee, you displease another devotee. You can't please all the devotees all the time. And I have seen my experience in being in the movement for a few years is that it's very easy to do service in bhakti, but very difficult to get service done. So at that time, misunderstanding happens. So what do? We have to remember, Akrura is the best example for devotees who struggle in this material world. I really like this example. I remember when I joined, I was given the service of managing Sunday fish prasadam service. So I was in charge of all the prasadam and okay, serving starts now. And my Guru Maharaj would do kirtan for a long time. So some people wanted prasadam first, so they would come down and they would take prasadam. And the sweets was limited. We couldn't make so much sweets. So sweets, I would give 1 spoon only. And after that, they would come for second helping. So then, you can't say no to Vaishnava. So we would give. So the sweet would get over. So after kirtan, the prasadam, the remaining devotees would come for prasadam. They would say, very sweet. We would say, it is over. Why you didn't keep for us? Prabhu, but they asked, but we took part in the whole program, we should have kept for us. So I got confused. So I went to my senior, my counselor, and I said, Prabhu, what to do? He said, you should. So what I did next week, I didn't give prasad second time. Those who came first for prasad. I said, no. And they got angry. Prabhu, what is this? You are not giving prasad. I said, no, we have kept for them. No, but we are hungry. So then I said, no, the devotees are dancing in kirtan. They said, Prabhu, see, they want kirtan, they are getting kirtan. We want prasad, they are getting prasad. So I disappointed them. So I asked my counselor what to do. I said, Prabhuji, if I give prasadam, then I am offending the devotees who are dancing in kirtan. He said, yes. They will feel bad. That is wrong, he said. Then I said, if I keep prasad and these devotees ask for more sweet, then I am disappointing them. He said, yes, that is also correct. So I said, what should he do? He said, you decide. So then I realized you can't please all devotees. So we have to remember like Akrura. Akrura, you see what to do. If Akrura can disappoint gopis and still be considered by Krishna as the best example for prayers, we also have a hope. Bhakti is full of hope. And then Akrura takes Krishna Balaram. And when he's taking, then there is this beautiful pastime in Yamuna. He goes to take bath. And he sees, Krishna Balaram are here. They were in chariot. What are they doing? So he goes to chariot and he sees they are in chariot also. Then he comes back to Yamuna. Then he takes bath, does Gayatri. He comes to chariot and Krishna says, Akrura uncle, did you see something extraordinary there in the Yamuna? So Akrura also understands. Akrura says, oh Krishna, when someone has seen you, what else is there? What other extraordinary thing can be there to be seen when somebody has seen you? And then that is when he offers beautiful prayers, where he says, there are many beautiful points there. And one of the things he says, Akrura says, is how he compares the whole universal form. He says, I don't remember the details now from that section. He compares the mountains to hairs on Krishna's body, all that. He gives all the descriptions, from the nature, seeing Krishna in nature and seeing Krishna in the universe like that. And then they come to Mathura and that is a pastime. So this is a very beautiful section and we can see that from Narad Muni's example also and Akrura's example also. And towards the end, Srila Prabhupada writes, therefore, we have to understand Krishna in this way, that Krishna cannot be killed. This is another point in the purport, Prabhupada writes. And he quotes this famous verse, all of you know this, from Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yogeti tatpataha tektva deham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. Srila Prabhupada quoted this verse many times to tell us that if you simply hear about Krishna, simply understand Krishna, then our life will be perfect. Any comments or questions or corrections? Hare Krishna Goswami. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Just on this last point you made, Prabhupada quotes often this verse, saying that if one just understands Krishna's transcendental nature, just upon leaving his body, he goes back to Golok. So, we could say, all of us could say, yeah, I understand Krishna's, it's not one of us, he's Sachitananda, is supreme. But is it just enough to say it, or how far do we have to realize it?
Beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu. Beautiful question. So Prabhupada said you should understand Krishna. So I have read the scriptures, I have memorized the shloka, I have understood Krishna Sachidananda. Is that enough? Yes and no. That is the first step. Knowledge is the first step. There are two kinds of knowing. Knowing in the head and knowing in the heart. I'll give an example. Sometimes I will experience sometimes you know something. It is knowing beyond knowing. In the sense you cannot logically explain it, but you know it is true. Like sometimes you know that I shouldn't say this, or this shouldn't happen, or we call it intuition. Sometimes we know it, but we are not able to express it in words. So there is knowing in the head and there is knowing in the heart also. So when Prabhupada says one who understands Krishna will go back to the spiritual world, that understanding refers to experiencing Krishna's presence in our life. That understanding. But the first step is to understand, to know, at least to theoretically accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And based on that, we have practices which helps us internalize what we read. Like, I don't know how many of you, you have studied mathematics. In mathematics in school, we used to have, let x is equal to y. We used to begin like that. And then we used to solve the whole sum. And in the end, we used to say, thus x is equal to y. Hence proved. It begins with the assumption that x is equal to y. So similarly, when we are coming to scriptures, we first begin, okay, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. We accept it. And then we start the practices. And then we come to the conclusion, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That knowing is different from the first knowing. So that's so what is this experience of Krishna? It means Rupa Goswami has explained this. Rasa. Krishna. How is Krishna defined in the Bhagavatam, in the scriptures? Akila Rasamrita Murti. Murti means person. Akila means all. Rasa means, taste, mellow. If you are experiencing Krishna Rasa, then you are understanding Krishna. Rasa means simple. Just like if I keep a mango here. I don't know how many of you in Europe like mangoes. In India, mangoes, everybody is crazy for mango. So if you keep mango, we are attracted not by the shape of the mango or the color of the mango. We are attracted by taste. Rasa. So Rupa Goswami explains that, Srila Prabhupada also says this. Everything in this world has taste. Why people watch some sports? Why people enter into relationship? Because everything gives you some taste, some rasa. But the problem is in material world, all rasa leads to pain. Like, I don't know if you've seen in children in India, they chew bubble gum, they're chewing gum. So initially what happens when you take that bubble gum? There is rasa, there is taste. But after some time it gets boring. You see, it's simply an exercise for the jaws. And after some time what happens? They make bubble. Have you seen the children make bubbles? Then they make bigger bubble, and then it splashes, and it gets stuck on the face, and then they start removing it. Similarly, in this world, when we enter relationships, we get rasa. And then after some time, boring. And then finally it gets stuck on the consciousness. It's so painful. But Krishna is not like that. When we enter into relationship with Krishna, you will see over a period of time, the taste increases. We want to chant more. Like yesterday when Prabhu was doing Kirtan, the dancing was uproarious. Everybody was dancing wildly. So he's been chanting and dancing for more than 50 years now. Same mantra in material world. Every day when you see news, if you are given news of last week, will you be excited? We want new, fresh. But still it is boring. But in Krishna Katha, we are reading same Krishna pastime today, what they have been reading for last 50 years, and still Prabhuji is sitting here and listening to the class. Every year Janmashtami we speak same Krishna story, entering same Mathura, same way. It is not that this year we are bored, every year same thing. So this year Krishna will enter Mathura in helicopter, and we will make something different. We don't have Prabhupada say don't change. Why? Prabhupada is very famous. Many times he will say don't change, don't concoct. Why? Because there is rasa here. So if we get taste for hearing, chanting, serving devotees, same activity over a period of time, we experience rasa, and that rasa is the deep understanding of Krishna. So it begins with knowledge, and then that knowledge leads to appreciation of Krishna. Wow, Krishna is so good, Krishna is so wonderful, and then we start expressing gratitude to Krishna, and that gratitude leads to feeling of emotion, rasa for Krishna, and that rasa is our hope. If you see all the devotees in ISKCON who have been for the last so many years serving happily, some rasa they are experiencing. His Holiness Srila Sachidananda Maharaj was telling us once that every devotee has unique fascination in bhakti and he has unique contribution in bhakti. So we all have unique fascination. We experience some rasa, some of you in kirtan, some of us in deity worship, and then we also want to contribute. So this combination is the real understanding of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada wanted us to experience Krishna in our life. And Srila Prabhupada wanted us to taste his rasa. When he was giving lectures in New York in the initial days, Satswarup Maharaj writes in Prabhupada Lilamrita that he had a heavy Bengali accent. Yesterday you were also mentioning about the Bengali accent of Prabhupada. So Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and initial days of ISKCON, and Prabhupada speaking about Lord Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the boys and girls were writing notes in the class. And Prabhupada is speaking about Sanatana Goswami meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they are not understanding what is happening. So they wrote Sanatana, they didn't know who is Sanatana. So Satswarup Maharaj in his notes wrote Suntan. And somebody wrote Sonoton. Everybody wrote different names. And then Prabhupada said, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to shave all of you. So if he had long hair, So Prabhupada meant save all of you. So they thought Prabhupada is saying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to shave all of them. So Srila Prabhupada understood what they are thinking and Srila Prabhupada laughed. He said, yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to shave and save both. And they were captivated by Srila Prabhupada because he gave Krishna, he gave that rasa. And Srila Prabhupada really wanted us, all of us, to experience Krishna in our life. Not simply theoretically. We don't want to become scholars and jnanis who will debate with everyone and defeat everyone. We have to do that if the need arises. But we have to also experience Krishna. You know, in the initial days, before starting ISKCON, Prabhupada's classes were for very old people used to come for Prabhupada's classes. And there is, you know, in one class Prabhupada is saying, so Krishna, and then Prabhupada stopped. Krishna? You know Krishna? And audience is quiet. Nobody has heard the name Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada realizes the crowd is addressing. Whom is addressing? You have seen painting of Krishna? Again silence. Krishna you don't know? Arjuna Krishna? Bhagavad Gita Krishna? You can sense that, I would say desperation is the wrong word maybe, that urgency, sense of urgency to give Krishna. And then, you can, it's my perception, I could feel that sense, not disappointment, but, they don't know Krishna. Srila Prabhupada has come with that desire. In Boston, Prabhupada is giving class, 1967, in the university campus. Many crazy hippies are there, and all these young boys and girls from Boston, I mean, they have no idea about who is Krishna. And Prabhupada begins that class by saying, all of you boys and girls from Boston University, I want to thank, this is the first sentence Prabhupada says, I want to thank all of you for giving me an opportunity today to glorify Krishna. That means Srila Prabhupada wanted to give us Krishna. So like that. Hare Krishna. So that is the understanding of, that will help us go out of the material world. Nasteva gatiranyata. Is that okay? Thank you. You can take one more question? Yes, bro.
Thank you. You spoke about the world will misunderstand us, but if we're honest and sincere to Krishna, then Krishna will understand and accept us. I want to ask, is it just enough to be honest to Krishna about our shortcomings and misunderstandings, or should we be honest to the Buddha?
We should try our best to have honest, authentic communication with each other. But I was just speaking about a scenario where many times, despite our best efforts, it can happen that you are not understood properly. But we should make our efforts. But you should know when, at some point of time you will realize that, this is beyond me. So I think as Vaishnavas, it's our responsibility to ensure there is open and clear, honest communication. Because most problems in communities happen because of, it's a communication issue many times. It is not, the issue is not so serious as he didn't tell me that, or he said like this, or imagining assumptions. So if we can communicate, when Srila Prabhupada was in America in 1969, I think, there was news about his sannyas guru, who was leaving his world. And Srila Prabhupada had asked, 66, Srila Prabhupada was asking for musical instruments and some help from there. And there was some communication gap in the letters correspondence. And then, that was leading for devotees of feeling a little bewildered. But then finally Prabhupada heard that he had left this world, that sannyasi had left this world, and Prabhupada composed a poem, glorified him. So this can happen many times that, there is communication gaps, misunderstandings. So it is better we clarify with devotees. At the same time, we can't get obsessed with clarification because how much ever you try, I've seen some people will refuse to understand. So then what do? So we have to take that bitter. In India they were saying that to die, you just have to take little poison and you will die. But to stay alive in this world, you have to drink lot of poison. In a sense, you have bitterness, you have to embrace that pain of being misunderstood, But that doesn't mean we deliberately create situations where Vaishnavas misunderstand us. That is not Vaishnava culture. Vaishnava culture is to be servant of servant, to clarify. There is a difference between clarifying, Prabhu, there is a difference between clarifying and justifying. We clarify because our services will get affected, the institution will get affected, Vaishnava community will get affected. So we have to clarify. Justify means a false ego. I am right. And then we are fighting for it. So as long as we are clarifying, it is okay. So that overall service is healthy. Anything else? Let's stop here, Prabhu.
Yes.
Once again, my sincere gratitude to all of you. Thank you very much. And I hope to serve you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Bihari Prabhu ki
Jai.